Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the tank top sage. It's Joshua Gangsta Time Co.
It's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
It was good, Chris. What up, everybody listening?
Hey, yeah, it's just me and Josh flying solo for today. Brian is a little preoccupied, so he couldn't make it in this week, but he'll be back next week. But until then, we got a fun show planned. Very excited. We got One Piece, My Hero Academia, among other things. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
You can find me at jdcole_37. That's on Instagram and on X.
Yeah.
At New Jump City Josh.
Whoo. Right next to me also.
I said X?
Yeah, you said X.
2 arms up.
Oh, you said X with 2 arms?
No, I'm just saying I put my arms, like I did an X with my arms. Like I can do it with me next time.
Gotcha. Next time I'll do it.
And everyone listening.
Yeah. Brian's not here, but we do have our little associate producer, Gingerbread, sitting right next to me, my cat. Being a little fluff ball, providing emotional support for me. Oh my God, she just bit me. Holy shit.
Oh, I heard him too.
She's so mean. But she is here. Gingerbread, everybody. And you can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. We also have a TikTok. Why not follow us there? Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. That would be a super duper cool if you did that. And we'll answer them on our pre-show chat show that we do every week. We did one this week. We missed last week because we got a little bit of a late start, but we got one out this week. So check that out. Usually comes out on Wednesdays in the morning. And like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Please do that. That would be super, super nice. Subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. If you enjoy what we do, give us a subscribe, like, share. If you prefer audio podcasts, we are pretty much on every single podcasting platform out there. So no excuses. You can find us anywhere. And without further ado, that's all the plugs really. So let's not delay this any further. And let's get the show started. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1098. We're almost at 1100 people. Bonnie's birth. And we got Brooke doing some music with an electric eel on the cover. Hell yeah. I didn't finish the art. Oh my God. Oh, I didn't even notice this the first time I saw, but on Brooke's legs, Oda put an apology. He says, I didn't.
What?
If you look at the cover page on Brooke's legs, there's writing on there and it translates out to, I didn't finish the art in time. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, he's right.
Bro,
It's
Oda.
okay.
I mean, yeah, this is like the first time Oda has ever like submitted, I guess, an incomplete chapter. And as far as incomplete chapters go, it's almost not noticeable. Like some things are sketchy and that you could clearly tell that they're still like pencils, but they're not like just rough sketches, you know what I mean? They just need the inks and the proper shading. But outside of that, pretty good for roughs. And it's only like 1 or 2 pages, panels that are like that. But anyway, Chapter 1098. Last we left off, we are in the midst of a Kuma flashback. We're finding out where Kuma came from, what his whole deal is. And last we left, Ginny, his love interest and a member of the Revolutionary Army, had apparently been taken by the Marines. We start this chapter off pretty much exactly where that chapter left off, where the revolutionaries are now getting word that Bonnie has been taken. Kuma has decided to go and rescue her himself. And it seems, Kuma gets word of it. He goes off to go get her. Basically teleports over there in a really cool way. We see Dragon has learned that apparently a celestial dragon had his eye on Ginny, and that's why she was taken to be a celestial dragon's wife. So he I guess okay, so he doesn't go immediately to save Ginny. Actually, Kuma went to a rebellion in Toomey to like help them out, and in the meantime, Ginny was taken. So, Ginny was taken and was made into a celestial dragon's wife. 2 years later, we learned that Ginny has gotten sick and was then discarded by the celestial dragon who was her husband, and they dumped her off. So, she's looking like she's deathly ill, and she's making this call to the revolutionaries just to say goodbye. And she apologizes to Kuma because she's dying, and she's like, it won't be long now. I appreciate your concern, but don't come looking for me. And Kuma just runs off to go find her immediately, as she says that, always, just remember, I'll always love you. Kuma returns to, I guess, to the Sorbet Kingdom, where Ginny was dropped off, and she is already dead by the time he gets there, but there is a baby with her, and that baby is Bonnie, as we all know. And this was a pretty crazy turn of events. It turns out that Kuma is not Bonnie's biological father, actually. He takes it upon himself to raise Ginny's daughter, and and he turns out he really is. He's not just a stepdad. He is the dad that stepped up. He is very much taking care of Bonnie, and taking good care of her by the looks of it. We see a little cameo by Sabo there. That's cool. I guess he was training Sabo when he was younger.
Yeah, that was Sabo, right?
Yep. Sabo cameo. So, a couple of years pass, and we see that Bonnie is starting to develop the same disease that Ginny had. At that point, Kuma now quits the revolutionaries so that he could be with Bonnie full time. Dragon understands, and he's like, we'll ask every doctor in the world that we can to help. Bonnie manages to live up to the age of 5, and she's a little terror, as Bonnie is. It's she's like bullying kids and being a little rambunctious scamp there. It's kind of cute. So Kuma's like, please don't go outside. Even the doorway makes me nervous, and he's just like being overprotective of her. Bonnie tells Kuma that she's being made fun of for the stones on her face, the little signifiers of the disease. And Kuma is just like, what? Your jewels? They're just jealous because they make you look so beautiful. And Bonnie's like, oh my God, really? It's very cute. And also very sad. So, Kuma starts talking about what they're going to do after, Bonnie is cured. He's like, if we went on a trip, where would you want to go? Which is a thing Kuma says. And Bonnie says that she wants to go to the... Yeah. Bonnie says that she wants to go to the Sky Islands. And Kuma's never heard of the Sky Islands, which is cool. And she's like, maybe Nika will be there since it's so close to the sun. And Kuma starts doing the Nika dance. And he's like, wow, the sky would be a huge adventure. Maybe we'll do that once you turn 20. And where was your 19th going to be? And she says, Fishman Island. We then find out that the disease that is plaguing Bonnie, according to a doctor, is a disease known as sapphire scales. There are not many cases of it, but light is what causes it to spread. All kinds of natural light, moonlight, sunlight, doesn't matter. It will spread over time. But even if you block the cause entirely, it would eventually spread over time. And he tells Kuma that Bonnie at this point has only 5 more years to live, so she won't see her 10th birthday, and there's no cure yet. So Kuma is just traumatized by this fucking news, and Kuma is about to go back in. Bonnie wakes up and scares him. She goes, boo. And he's like, I thought you were asleep. And Bonnie's like, no, I'm awake. What was that about age 10? And Kuma's like, huh? What? And she's like, I heard you said age 10. Wait, why are you crying? Is it about me? And Kuma's like, no. Oh, yes, age 10. Would you believe that doctor? He told me that you won't get better until you reach age 10. And, he says, it seems so far away. I was feeling a little let down.
What a horrible liar.
Yeah.
He should have been like, man, that's the next time I gotta take you to the doctor.
Yeah, when you're 10.
Well, I would have said anything.
Yeah, it's a big promise. But Bonnie's like, so I'm going to be better when I'm 10, and then I could go around the world with you? And Kuma's like, fuck. Yes, you'll be better when you're 10. And she's like, yay. Something must have been true about that. Kuma must have done something. Because, Bonnie is alive.
Yeah.
So, there's that. So 1 year after this, the nightmare returned to Sorbet Kingdom. We learn that King Bakori is back, and he's worse than ever, being a real scumbag. This guy, and he's like, and the chapter ends with Kuma going like, it's like 16 years ago all over again. He's gonna burn everyone he thinks is weighing the country down. So I guess Bakari is going full genocide mode. And that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1098?
RGC. I felt about it. I want to say RGC for a different series, but that's for the pettiest, the most childish of reasons. So I won't do that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Really matters. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna be honest and say One Piece, because it was the best this week.
Yeah, same for me. It's unified, I guess. It counts.
Sure.
Unified RGC. Unified RGC. Unified RGC.
I just really like that drop.
Yeah, I love it too. I just like to listen to it sometimes. So look, I am touched. Okay, I had no idea the story was gonna get like this. I knew Kuma's backstory would be tragic, but I thought it'd be tragic lore-wise. And what I mean by that is just that, like, oh man, like, look at all these unfortunate circumstances, but like, we're connecting with Kuma, with who he was before the machine, and also Bonnie, who we only just recently started to care about with this arc. I mean, I don't know how you felt about Jewelry Bonnie, one of the top 10 of the worst generation.
The
was she
supernovas.
a supernova?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was
I don't know if
technically
I didn't really care too much for her. I thought she was out of the game when she got captured.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I digress. So the fact that her mom died, oh my god, the fact that that's not even Kuma's kid, that is so sad that Jenny just died like off screen. Like it was I need to form my thoughts. That was effective writing in my opinion. Um I don't think it lessened her as a character or what happened to her. I think if anything, it really helps illustrate the point Oda's trying to make that these people treat others as if they don't have their whole lives. They snatched her away and snatched her whole story and being away as well in the process. And that's what might as well have happened in the real world and, to us as readers. Like, so I just even through the lens of Kuma, like he didn't have he had no idea what's happened in that time. When you first started reading it, you was trying to figure out like, oh, like did he go try to like get her or something like that, or like but he just was on another mission and he had to like that was it. Like once she got captured, there was no way to get her back unless they would have went all the way back to Maroua, however we say it. So the Red Wall. So he had to take that on the chin as he was a revolutionary. And then and speaking of being a revolutionary, the fact that Dragon had no problem. I don't want to say no problem, but he told Kuma like, go ahead and do what you got to do, like, and to take care of this kid. Even though he was definitely invaluable to them and to their cause. Um, with his immense power and his crazy fruit, the abilities or whatever. Dragon just still said, dude, live your life. Um, which, I guess that makes sense coming from Luffy's dad. But he's so stoic, it's really hard to connect him and Luffy at all.
Right.
They don't look the same, they don't behave the same, but they both have principles, I think. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think Luffy would have done the
So
same thing if one of the crew members were in the same situation.
yeah, just like that. Like live without regrets. Go ahead. Hopefully we'll run into each other again type shit.
Yeah, you'll always be part of the crew.
And it's crazy because like I think it's really potent coming from the leader of the revolutionaries because they're not just out there doing like living their dreams, and living for fun and for the sake of themselves. They're out here with a fucking mission and they're fighting for the sakes of everybody around the world. You know what I mean? So that it just wasn't an easy loss. And he could have like Oda could have written him really trying to appeal to Kuma, like, please, man, I know you care about this little girl, but we're really trying to make something happen. And I think the same way we didn't really get to see what happened with Ginny, how like that wasn't really shown, but how that says a lot. Same thing I would apply with this situation with Dragon. And Oda is just so good at packing a lot within his pages and like within the panels. And I'm not even just talking about word bubbles, like just like what I spent my thoughts on the past minute or two was just on maybe 3 panels. So kudos, Oda, you the goat. Yeah, I'm invested in Bonnie. Think I think there's no way around it. She's absolutely gonna join the Straw Hats. She may not be the 11th crew member, but she'll be their Vivi for a long time. She's going to Elbaf, my nigga.
Yeah, she
And
is.
there's nothing you can do to stop that.
Oh, me?
And I don't mean you, Christian Espinal, but I'm saying to
What?
you, to the general reader base.
Do people want to stop Bonnie from going? I didn't
I'm
know.
just saying, like anybody that had a problem with it, that's it. You just gonna have a problem with it. And I'm glad I'm not hating on this one. Feels good.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Sorbet.
Sorbet.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Right. That's a cool fucking kingdom. There's no sorbet around them. Isn't that like It's like ice cream, right? Or,
Yeah, so it's like kind of ice cream. Yeah.
You know, I have a laptop, and I'm gonna
Hmm.
Google sorbet and look at it.
I think it is ice cream. I think you're definitely right about that.
Brian's not.
So, my thoughts: 0 to 10 because the chapter wasn't 100% finished. No, I'm kidding. This was a really good chapter.
Whoa.
This is really good. It's Kuma's life is just so tragic. But so there's like these little like happy moments of raising Bonnie, you know, that just endear us to him all the more. One of the cool things is that like now we know, I guess, why she calls herself Jewelry Bonnie, because of the jewels.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh, by the way, sorbet is just straight up like fruit.
Oh, really?
Um,
That's not ice cream?
yeah, like fruit. Like it is ice cream, but it's like so. All right, all right. So what I actually googled was sorbet, and then I seen someone put sorbet versus sherbet. So I was like, all right, something to compare. So basically, like sherbet, which is what you see usually, like a lot, like more often than sorbet, is like it's like a dairy and fruit combination. Where
Ooh.
sorbet is straight up like fruit, like frozen iced fruit, like but shredded and to the point that it's almost like an ice cream,
Mm,
but it's not ice cream because no cream, no dairy. Sherbet has dairy. Like I said, it's a mix.
yeah.
But so with that said, where the fuck is all the sorbet at?
Well, the
I
king
swear
took
to
it.
God, he better pull up to King
Bakari.
uh Beck. Thank you. Wow, you're deep in the lore, bro.
I'm a lore man.
Yeah, you're the crystal lore man. Yeah, man. I hope Kuma punches him in his face, and sorbet flies out of his pockets, because that's like what they do. Like the people in the sorbet, they always have some on them. Maybe
Maybe. That would be nice.
I have this thing where I need relevance to. I talked about this already with the 100.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I mean, there's like a place called Orange Town that was not orange in One Piece. There's
And it drove me fucking insane, Chris. I don't need that again.
all right. Well, yeah.
Fishman Island, fish. Poke Island, island full of different fucking
Cakes
desserts and
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
And cake.
Long ring, long
Right?
land. Long stuff everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice one. It's
Ennie's
topical.
lobby? A lobby with Ennie's in it? Hmm?
Is that true?
No, I don't know. I don't know why he calls
Ennie's
it that.
is in the hole
Ennie's? What?
beneath them. Ennie's is the person, and they're in that
Ennie's
hole.
lobby. I'm trying to see if there's like a clever naming thing behind Ennie's lobby, but I guess not.
It better be something that makes sense. Oh, I'm gonna flip the fuck out.
You go lose your mind. Was that you or me? That's me. Anyway, okay, so yeah, there's a lot of really cool lore shit still. Anything with Kuma in it is very important. I think the thing with Dragon is it's got to be so telling about how consistent the revolutionaries are, because it'd be one thing, I feel like it's so cool that Dragon is not some guy who's like, no, we need you to put the fate of the world in your hands. And the whole point of the Revolutionary Army is like liberation and freedom, and the people who are in the revolutionaries have to feel free enough to like be part of it. It'd be kind of hypocritical for Dragon as a leader of an army that touts freedom to withhold Kuma's freedom to do as he pleases and live a life,
Yeah.
So I thought that was like really cool. He's such an enigma. I need to know more about Dragon so much because we still don't know much about him at all. He's such a stoic and serious figure, and he's like basically the opposite of Luffy in every single way. which is crazy. It makes me even wonder: is he even Luffy's dad?
Yeah, he's the father of the next Nika.
Yeah,
That makes total sense now.
no, that makes sense for sure. But like, they're just so different that I'm like, man, where does he get his goofy nature from? You know,
Shanks?
maybe
No,
maybe
he
the
stole it
mom,
too.
whoever his mom is.
Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta interrupt you right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm on the spot. I know we don't know much about both of them, but I just gut feeling. Shanks versus Dragon. Who you got?
Man, we don't know anything about that either.
Stand on business, Chris. Gut feeling.
Man, I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'll say it first. Honestly, Shanks.
I would have to say Dragon. But, I feel like Dragon is like such a different entity altogether. And he is technically, it's supposed that he has the highest bounty out of everybody in the series, Dragon. We don't know what it is, but he is the world's most wanted man. So I have to imagine it's because he was able to fuck the government up.
$9 Schabillion.
Yeah, he's
Berries.
got he's the 9 Schabillion berry man. Who's I think Luffy is like 3 billion at this point, 3.3 or something. No, I think Luffy is 3 billion flat. Blackbeard's like 3.4 billion. I think Shanks is worth more than that, but I don't know. Anyway, that's the thing on Dragon. One of the things also is the burning of the village is a thing that happened to Luffy as well. After a certain point, whatever nobles live on the island just eventually decide to burn down the half of the island they think is worthless.
Well, they explained why.
This seems to happen all the time.
I said, like they explained why kind of through the Sorbet Kingdom. I guess it's pretty much the same, like similar reasons.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was the same thing with Luffy's island, and eventually, the nobles on that island thought that the trash heap mountain that they lived on was like worthless and stuff, and didn't was like weighing down the Goa kingdom, so they decided to burn it down. But yeah, it's funny that like every island seems to go through this after a certain point where the leaders where the nobles are just like, you know what, let's just kill everyone on that side. But I can't help but wonder if this is the moment where Kuma probably defeats Bakari and becomes king of the Sorbet Kingdom.
Oh right, he does become king.
Yeah, I imagine
there's a lot more to the story, man.
Yeah.
When does he become a robot?
Robobot. My guess is that like he volunteers for Vegapunk's technology stuff in exchange for curing Bonnie.
Yeah.
That's my guess. It could not be.
And he and Vegapunk were friends, right?
Yeah, he seems to have a good relationship with Vegapunk. So, like, I think this is what happened. But I don't know. There's also like the mystery of what Bonnie's real age is. But this has to be like she has to be Luffy's age. Like the age that she shows everyone has to be the real one.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a really good chapter overall. I think it's pretty much writings on the wall that One Piece will probably be on break next week. Seeing as Oda, I think for the first time, has not been able to finish a chapter in his deadline.
Damn.
Which, is pretty impressive. 20 some odd years. Mostly complete chapters. So, but, One Piece will probably be on. Yeah, but
incredible.
Yeah, but, given the fact that he couldn't finish this week. pretty sure that I wouldn't be expecting a new chapter next week. You know, I wonder if he even really got rest from the surgery he got and just immediately started drawing again.
I hope not.
Bro's got to take a break. I'm okay with him taking a break. As much as it kills me every time. It's for the good of the series and for Oda himself. So I hope he takes a break, man. But he probably will take 1 week. That's all I gotta say about One Piece right now. Do you have any rebuttals? Anything else you want to add?
Nah.
No, right then. With that being said, let's go.
We're not getting this story out there. We need a plan.
My Hero Academia. This is My Hero Academia, chapter 406. Get a grip on your quirk. So the battle is continuing onward in My Hero Academia. We start to get a little bit of snapshots from around the battle, around the big war thing here that's been going on. We get the riot capital. The riot at the Central Hospital has been suppressed. The Okotu Island is under control. We have the initial location of the Divide and Conquer mission secured, and the injured are being attended to. And the battle in I don't know what this place is called. The battle at National Taco Bell Arena is still going, so there's still at least one big battle. Taco Bell, the National Taco Bell Arena. We see Ojiro's there, so whoever this weird umbrella man is over there, he's dead. Ojiro's on the way. Are those babies? What the fuck is going on here? I didn't even notice that. Did you see that?
Very weird.
Well, I want
I
to see
a baby.
There's two babies. There's two
babies. 1, 2.
Are these all little babies? Anyway.
It would have been nice to see Ojiro have a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be rough when Ojiro beats this guy off screen. They've captured Mr. Skeptic, and the evac system is complete, so heroes are mobilizing to safeguard refugees from the stalled block. Everything seems to be kind of slowly going our heroes' way. And we cut back to where All Might is, who he's not looking in good shape right now. Fucking Edgeshot is still alive. That's good to know. He didn't die completely. And, we see Bakugo pulling up on All For One after just slamming him into the ground. And Edgeshot is talking about how just for a moment that boy's moves had even Shigaraki flustered. He seems to be on the verge of grasping on something essential. Bakugo thinks to himself that he has to make use of this side effect. More. So, All For One gets up and he is pissed. He's like, enough of this. You can come later. Shigaraki is, kind of bragging to himself about how All For One couldn't get a hold of him anymore. Deku is thinking to himself strategy stuff like he's keeping his distance while the fourth danger sense is somehow keeping him alive. But how to deal with a superpowered body that can regenerate and inflict instant death, I haven't come up with an answer to that. So he said, the next time I use the second gear ship will be my last. Doesn't matter how long it's active even. As soon as it ends, the blowback will leave me immobilized. So he can't really use it one last time. He can only use it one more time. So everybody gets geared up for battle. And we focus more on the All For One versus Bakugo fight. All For One just decides to fly away, just blasting through buildings here. And he's like, Endeavor and Dark Shadow pack more of a punch than he does. Yes, he can wait. He can hardly measure up to All Might. He's not worth advancing my rewound state. He's pointless. Our fates are not intertwined. And Bakugo is not even. He's like kind of just excited. He looks like psycho-ish, and he's thinking, "Is like I figured it out. It's the pain." He's saying that the pain, as the beads of sweat are stored up in his palms, shoot through his whole body, and the pain as they explode, the locations gives him a handle on the timing of those backup blasts. So he uses that to just like throttle himself towards All for One, who looks kind of like a young, like a 4-year-old at this point. It looks like a psychotic 4-year-old. He's got no eyebrows, and he's still like catching up to All for One, and fucking All for One is like, "What the fuck is wrong with this kid?" Um, and we get this cool pattern where he looks to the side and Bakugo is right there, with his hands extended out, ready to fire off a blast. We cut over to the refugee center where Bakugo's parents are watching him on the on the screen there, and he's like, "Look, it's Katsuki," and his dad's like, "No, I can't bear to watch, given who he's up against." And his mom says, "You have to watch because I just know our boy is of ours is grinning as he always does." And he is doing his weird psychotic smile that I actually just noticed that Bakugo also smiles a whole lot when he fights, just like kind of All Might does. Um, it's kind of a subtle thing. It's a different kind of smile, but uh, you could I guess you could. It is noticeable the influence that All Might has had on him. Um, and All for One is just thinking to himself, is like, what is it about this insignificant pebble that vexes me more than All Might does? And then he remembers the second user um, of All for One, One for All, and is like, oh, of course, the resemblance. Um, so we cut over to a flashback where I guess All for One is holding up the second user, and he's talking to All for One and saying, "Yoichi, he's gone, Demon Lord. You killed him." And he says he thinks to himself, "The hatred I harbor brings back memories vividly. It's him. It was always him. If only he hadn't reached out like that." And there's like Bakugo lets out a huge explosion, slamming All for One back as All for One thinks to himself, "The one I loathe above all others." And yeah, they send each other flying backwards. All for One is like, "You're the blame for it all, Kudo." And Bakugo's like, "Finally gone senile, bub? That's Kachan Bakugo to you." And that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about My Hero Academia chapter 406?
Uh, I don't think anybody was right or wrong or nothing like that, but I when I first seen the second, I know we all thought like, wow, that looks like Bakugo, like or his ancestor. We all talked about it, but I didn't really think, I thought maybe it was just a coincidence, like a poetic artistic one. You know what I mean? But no, he seems to be the descendant of this guy who
Well,
had All for One in the past.
well, he didn't say that all. He didn't say all that, but he did say um, that he does look like him, but he didn't confirm that he's like a descendant. So it still could be just like a coincidence that he kind of looks like this guy.
I don't know. I think it's the way they showed the mom, then they showed Bakugo, then on the next page they showed this guy's face. I don't. Does he have those same eyes though?
Which guy?
The second when he's holding the guy's like, they show a panel of him, and then it says, "Of course, the resemblance."
I think
So
it's the
maybe
hair.
they just resemble.
Yeah, I think it's the hair and the eyes. I guess I don't know. He could be either or, to be honest.
No, I can't tell with the eyes. Honestly, I'm zoomed all the way in, and they don't have those same like bomb eyes or whatever. So whatever, could be, as you say, coincidence. Anyway, I think this is a cool chapter. I don't care about what was really. I don't really care about like what's happening around the fights. You know, it's pretty insignificant, honestly. But Bakugo learning like a new technique on the fly, fighting against All For One. That's I can get behind that. It's pretty hype. um, they gave us a little breakdown about a small piece to explain how his new power works, how he's using, I guess, the pain he feels in his body to read when those other blasts are gonna go off. I'm still not even really sure what they are. They're just mini supportive blasts. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Damn,
hard to
he went
explain, I
so
guess.
fast he ran into the ground
Yeah,
at super
he's basically
speeds.
like, I like to think of the little explosions in this context as like kind of continuously double jumping, or
Yeah,
like, the little springboards from like Sonic. It's just propelling him forward.
right. Like mad fast, or like
Yeah.
grasshoppers, like a
Yeah,
bunch of
basically.
grasshoppers.
Right. Yeah.
All the World Trigger fans. This is cool. It was fun. I like this page when I think it's on page 11. But he Bakugo's about to blast him. He's like spinning still,
Yeah.
and everyone's just looking like,
Huh?
oh shit.
Woo. What is that?
He said, "What's wrong with them?" For some reason, I feel like, oh well, that was Bakugo saying that. That's it. Cool chapter.
Yeah, I really like this chapter overall. Bakugo going ham is always super fun to watch because he's gonna go all out, and it's always gonna be like really entertaining. Um, it's really cool the way Bakugo is fighting right now because it's almost like he's like not even there. He's just like so amped up from the adrenaline of resurrecting himself and fighting, like unlocking a new stage of his quirk. Um, so I am really excited to see how this whole thing concludes. I'm wondering, is My Hero Academia? I remember. Okay, so it's not off next week. Probably just One Piece, but yeah, it is cool to kind of recontextualize All For One's anger towards the second user, because we knew this from a while back that it was the second user that rescued like the original All For One or One For All guy, which is like such a cool like opposite to the Bakugo Midoriya dynamic that I really like, you know, coming bringing it back full circle to this is the guy who started it all in All For One's mind. Um, and if there's anybody he hates more than All Might, it's probably the guy that, if it weren't for him, All Might wouldn't even be a thing. So, I thought that was really cool. Whether Bakugo is like his descendant or not, I think the resemblance was a smart call, because it's not impossible that he's just a guy that kind of looks like Bakugo. People look like each other
So
sometimes.
poetic and artistic.
Yeah, poetic and artistic type of thing. Um, so I really enjoy this chapter. I thought it was a great read. But those are all my thoughts, really. Do you have any rebuttals? Anything to add?
Sorbet.
Sorbet.
I didn't expect there to be any sorbet featured in this My Hero Academia chapter, but man, it would have helped.
It would have been nice. 0 out of 10. There's no sorbets in this chapter.
Yeah.
All right.
Spoilers, no sorbet in the next one either.
Yeah. Although there should be, all things considered. If there's anywhere a sorbet should show up, it's probably this next one.
Yeah.
But I guess speaking of which, we should just get to it, huh? I already know what's coming, so let's move on.
Yo, if only these cameras was on, bro.
All right. No, let's go. Oh, jeez.
This is part of the war in the Bronx.
Undead Unluck. And I'm going to pass the honors
Oh, I
over
got
to
this.
Josh.
I got this.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know you got this. I know you were. You couldn't wait. I tell you what, I want to, before you start, when the second I started reading this chapter, I was so confused. I was like, oh, what's going on here? And then as the pages continued to turn, I was like, oh, fuck, no. Josh is going to not let this go at all. I'm never going to hear the end of it. So bring it on, Josh. I can't believe he did this to me. I can't believe Yoshifumi Tozuka did
You
this
should
to
have
me.
seen it coming, bro.
Should I have?
All right, look.
I don't know
I'm
if
not even gonna get into it. I'm not even gonna get into it. Look.
No, you will.
Look. Bro, in the chapter, oh my god, I had an alternate title and everything, but need I even do it? Chapter number 183, the three of us. Last week, Fuko went full gangster time and dived into the crack between dimensions and found out there was 10 new big bosses they had to fight. They all hate each other. They're all troped out. It's gonna be a great time for the next arc. But in between that time, we cut into a wedding ceremony, well, a ceremony, which happens. We don't know it's a wedding yet, but it just looks like one. And we have Fuko and Rip. They're having a nice little conversation, and like they're basically talking about like it's like she's Fuko's filling Rip in on the fact that there was a previous loop and what happened, I guess. And he's like, oh, I was moving shice like that. Oh, okay, all right, well, my bad. And then he mentions that, you know, some like he felt something weird when he met her, like they had known each other before. But he also mentions that she's a lot like Andy, and which he's surprised, and I was a little surprised at first, but then I thought about it and was like, oh yeah, for sure, especially now. And he was like, I mean, and he's like saying like how he fought, it was outrageous, and then like, you know, how she does the same thing, basically. So yeah. And basically Rip is just like, you know, saying how awesome Andy is, and that, you know, she has that you know, Fuko's lucky to have someone like that. Like, you know, that's a great thing. And now it's about to be time, and Fuko says, what is your decision? And then there's something on his back. It's in French. I'm not going to try to say it that way, but they do have it in English, thank God, which is, we only love heartily, but once in that is the first time we love. I don't know. We only love heartily, but once, and that is the first time we love. Oh, damn, that's fucking deep.
Yeah. He's throwing up the little
Wow,
two sign.
That just hit me. Yeah, man.
The little two sign, just so you know exactly how many.
That shit. Oh my god. Yeah, I didn't even peep that. Yo,
well, technically, you love twice. You love twice, Rip.
Well, he's trying to get.
He's
trying to get a bigger bang for his one.
He said we only love heartily, but once.
One heartily love.
Can we change that to twice?
He's trying to get the bang for his buck, bro. So he says he's a lucky man, and Fuko says, "Oh, I should have known." So that's what they're talking about, all right? He says the idea is wicked sick, which sounds like Andy cute. Anyway, we cut to Layla in her wedding dress, and this is a whole wedding. That's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because a few of the characters are kind of like sad, cause they're like, damn, we kind of like feel bad for Latla because we know how much she cared about him and all of that. But you know, that's just how life works. And the sister like has a big smile on her face that says today was the date that sis told us before she got untrust. So this is going to be the happiest day of our. Oh yeah, her projection became opposite. That was smooth. I like that. And we see Rip pull up, dragging Latla with her fucking metal leg. I forget they had to keep that on the whole time. And I'm let's just cut to the chase. Um, he's marrying both the sisters. Chris stole a lot of my thunder, and I respect it. You prefaced and you kept it a stack, and you were right. As soon as I read this shit, and I only read this about like an hour ago, like before we started the pod, like I couldn't. I'm not gonna say I was shocked, but I was like, wow, that's very definitive. I thought they were gonna do something very up in the air, like that was up to interpretation, and that would have been enough for me. Honestly, I would have argued it to the end of my days, right? But wow, he said, I'm bagging both of y'all. And the crazy thing is that the other sister is like, yo, you out of your fucking mind? Like, yo, like you like people are gonna look at us crazy, like, you know, like you're making a poor decision, blah 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 blah. Oh, this is what she says. Says you're trying to bag the sister of the woman you're marrying. You're a scumbag who can't pick one girl to love. And I know Chris is reading it like, yeah, right?
I know. Right? You're fucking right, Latla. You don't deserve this.
Yeah. And then she's like, that's how it comes off to everyone else. You should know better. Why would you do something so stupid? Why do you always worry about me? And it's just like, I love the both of y'all, and that's that. So what you gonna do? Like, Layla's better now. Oh, and we want to be free to be polyamorous. Sister's down, and I got 2 rings. So what's up? And they take it. He says, let all 3 of us laugh and smile together forever. That would be the pinnacle of happiness for us, wouldn't it? And Layla says yes, and Layla says, geez, you're gonna regret this, I guarantee it. Jesus. She's such a tsundere. Tsundere.
Such a tsundere.
I said that close to the mic.
Tsundere.
Okay. So they popping bottles and models.
Yeah.
And now and Andy, I mean Rip goes to Fuko and he's like, look, I want to join the union, all right? And then his wives is like, yeah, we are too. And Fuko's like, bet. Couldn't wait for you to say that. It's all I've been thinking about this whole day. Give a fuck about your wedding. So Nico's like, all right, look. So what we should do is get another mission, fight one of these super Umas or whatever, big boss Umas, press them, make them tell us how we can get to Andy, and bet. And Fugo's like, nah, that's actually really dumb. She doesn't say that, but she does. She says, no, let's be smarter about this. And he says, say
That's a
what?
nicer way of saying that was fucking dumb. Shut the fuck up, Nico.
That was juvenile and naive. I asked for a good idea. Okay. So she's like, look, we already know where he's at. He's on the fucking sun, and guess what? There's a negator called Unburn. So he's gonna negate us and help us get Andy, and that's that. Pretty cool, pretty smooth. And that's the end of the chapter. Yeah. It's Undead Unluck. Should have been the RGC, but I have more integrity than that.
I respect you.
I'm a better person for that.
I respect you. I respect you for that. So I guess I'll say my thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, me being absolutely wrong, notwithstanding. This is a nice little ending. I guess it doesn't take me fully by surprise, but I didn't think they would. You know what it was? I also thought it would be more of an up in the air thing, at the very least. Not literally all three of us getting married. I guess there's nothing technically wrong with that, unless like, these like are two sisters, like biological sisters.
Dude, Muslims everywhere are like, yes,
Is that what happens?
let's go. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure they have like multiple wives and shit.
Multiple wives, I understand. Like I wonder how it works with like.
Oh, it's the sisters
Yes.
aspect, right?
Yeah, the blood relation
Listen,
sisters.
they just don't get busy with each other as a unit. They do it on separate times.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. Your boy rips is what they call a stallion, man.
All right, good for him, I guess. He can speak French and he's a doctor.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
He's wow. This is actually like the best person they have, don't like talent wise.
Yeah. I mean, Nico is a close second. He's like a scientist and stuff.
He cut his leg off, no fucking problem.
Yeah, he amputated himself and his wife.
I'm not giving Latla the credit because she was just gonna follow him, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. You know what? One of the things I forgot about was the leg thing. I thought they were going to be that way forever, but they don't have to be that way. Like the
conjoint.
Yeah, the combined leg thing.
Imagine that was the kicker. Like that was oh, no pun intended. Like that was the reason
Yeah.
that like they're like, well, since you're gonna be around all the time, might as well marry you too, I guess.
Yeah, since you're stuck to
We'll
my
be seeing
leg.
a lot. You do love me, and I love you, so
Yeah.
yeah, bro.
It was really cool to talk about Unburn.
Unfortunate Brian missed this.
Oh yeah. Honestly, it's pretty good. But frankly, honestly, the Unburned character coming back is really cool, and using him to negate the sun is a really smart idea.
Whoa, that sounds so wild.
Yeah.
Well, they can negate them from being combust, their ability to burn and combust. So, meaning that the effects of the sun probably wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much more involved with the sun, though.
Yeah, I guess they have to get up there to begin with, but
Yeah, and then like, is it even the surface? Like,
technically no.
what about the force of the fire propelling? Like, it may not burn though, but what about like the immense? It's like an exploding star, isn't it? Like it's forever exploding.
It's a gaseous star. So there is technically no surface, but in this world, I guess there is.
Yo, bro, the sun is basically our god. Like,
Yeah, that's what people thought a long time
I just
ago.
got really it might as well be, bro. Like without it, we'd all be dead.
That's true. We would.
But like, not just like we'd be dead.
No, yeah,
like,
we'd be dead.
There wouldn't even be a fucking Milky Way or nothing, like no galaxy.
Yeah, no, we'd be dead, dude. It wouldn't be good at all. But yeah, the Unburned character is like, I remember him looking kind of like a JoJo character when he was first introduced, and we haven't really heard him speak at all. He barely had any lines. So it'd be interesting to see who this character is. Like, he was just a guy in the background, and we never really got to see him do anything. Because his ability is so specific. But I'm looking forward to finding out who this character is and what his deal is. Very excited for that, to be honest. It looks like he's like a construction worker or something. But that's my best guess. But those are all my thoughts, really. I enjoyed this chapter overall, and I'm glad we have a plan to get undead to some degree. Be cool to get Andy back. because they still have so many other characters to get. They still got to get like Top, and I know probably exists in
Oh,
it.
the speeder.
Yeah, the speed guy.
I feel like they talked to Unknown already, but maybe
Yeah, I don't know if he's like.
maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know if he's dead in this reality. Oh no, they did it. You're right. They did talk to him. It was like the first person they got.
Yeah.
All right, but
Or
those
he
are,
saved them from doing it or something like that. Like he never picked up the pen.
right. Yeah. But Josh, what did you think about the chapter?
It was funny as hell, but it made me think about something really. All right. I think the way they've been setting like these characters up, we're gonna see a lot of these guys die again, and it's gonna hit a lot more. Like I think all this work that they're putting in for these characters individually, like it's gonna lead. I think it's gonna really matter. As the series starts to get to its conclusion. And I can't, I've always looked at Undead as like kind of like this little brother series, you know? And it's funny because I felt like that about a handful of other series over the years. And then, there have been other series like Black Clover that went from being a little bro series that like eventually it was like, nah, this is valid, Like it was winning RGCs every now and then. You win one enough times that you're Apex series. You ain't no little bro, it's big bro.
Yeah.
But man, Undead Unluck has a lot of potential. I enjoy it a lot. I still admit that I don't consider it on that same level as the ones I really enjoy, like Jujutsu Kaisen and One Piece. And I guess My Hero sometimes. But this upcoming arc have a lot of potential. And for nothing else, they proved me right on the podcast. So that's a lot going for it there in my book.
I think this is one of the first theories that we've actually gotten right on the show.
I guess it's
Technically,
really more of like
frankly, like it's the only time any of us have been. It's one of the few times any of us have been right. So I think that's worth celebrating.
well, spoilers for Jujutsu Kaisen real quick if you're viewing this separately for some, for whatever reason. But I don't know if we all did, but I want to feel like me and at least I think all three of us kind of called out and admitted that damn we think Gojo was gonna lose. Not
At
gonna
one
say
point or
anything more
another, we
on
were
that.
all like that.
I think that's what it is. We all kind of came to that point at some point, but I truly want to say the doubt only crept away when they said he won, which was like, yeah, like I mean, whatever. You got it, Gigi. That was great, but
Good for you, Gigi.
I don't know. I guess I can't count that as like a claim or nothing like that. None of us can. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Boy married sisters, and I'm sure there's a rap song about that. It's gotta be. I know I've heard one.
Yeah, I mean,
like
in the
that.
pantheon of rap, you're telling me there's not one married two sisters song?
Maybe not marrying, but definitely fucking like
Hmm.
having a menage with them, and they
There's got to
sisters.
be
They
something
sisters,
like
you know what
that.
I'm saying? Twin sisters. People used to say they wanted to fuck Tia and Tamara at the same time
Hmm.
all the time.
Yeah,
I
you're
used
right
to hear
about
that.
that.
I've said that. So I guess that's why it's not super outrageous
No.
on first blush. It's only when you peel that layer back and then you're like, the implications. You gotta kiss both of them. You can't just kiss one. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, everything you do to one, you gotta do with the other. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's nasty work, man. Your boy Rip is a devious guy.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm still gonna be a villain. Just Just this kind.
Yeah, this kind.
Just the womanizing kind. Giving me vibes when Kenjaku. No, actually, it wasn't Kenjaku. That was actually Geto when he called Okotu a womanizer. And he was like, "Don't be rude. Our love is pure." That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Well,
I don't have any more thoughts.
that was Undead Unluck. And that has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening as per usual. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Josh is at JDCole_37 on Instagram, at New Jump City Josh on Twitter, X. And you can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Instagram and X and TikTok. Email to newjumpcitypod@gmail.com. One of the questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. And we'll get on it as soon as possible in our pre-show chat show that we put out every Wednesday, or 2 days after usually we put out the main pod. Like, share, subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. That would be super neat. And if you prefer audio podcasts, we're pretty much everywhere you listen to podcasts: Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts. We're everywhere. Check us out. And without further ado, that's been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you guys next week on New Jump City. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace out, guys. Go Knicks. I'm about to watch them.